Hello and welcome back to Reentry, an Orbital simulator. Now it's been a month since our last video, and in fact it's been a month since I've played this game. Both starting up the Kerbal Space podcast as well as getting sick with the big sick last week. And by the way, my voice is still kind of recovering from that. So I might be talking a little bit less this episode. We'll see. My voice isn't at 100% yet, but we're still out here. I'm too excited not to play this at the first possible opportunity. And so, here we are. After set sail, after a translunar injection, loss of signal. The moon is close, and the crew needs to prepare for lunar orbit injection, a burn performed by the SPS. Let's do it. And here we are back in the Apollo capsule, and man, is it good to be back. It's been too long. It's been far too long. And I might not remember everything, but I think I'll get the hang of it. We're out here getting close to the moon. We're an hour and 30 minutes away from reaching our closest point to the moon, our perihaloon, or periapsis, if you'd like to go with Kerbal Space Program terms, or generic terms, I should say. So we're very close to the moon, an hour and a half away. That's very exciting. At that point, we will ignite the SPS engine and perform the lunar orbit injection burn. Roger that. We will start preparing for the burn. So open up the CSM burn planner. Roger that. We're going to set the burn phase to 0 as we want to burn at our perihaloon. The closest point our orbit currently takes us to the moon. And then set the burn direction to retrograde, of course. And the delta V to 3,300 feet per second, or a value that will bring you into a circular orbit. But we can verify the data on the right here, that this is in fact an circular orbit. So the planned AP and PE are quite similar, they are. Then verify the orbit, and press request when ready. Alright, Aura. Time of SPS ignition is 69 hours, nice. 15 minutes and 12 seconds with a delta V of 3,300 feet per second. Burn requested, roger that. The burn will take place in the shadow of the moon, where the moon will block communications with the Earth. It will also be pitch black, so we will need to rely on our instruments to verify our orientation. Alright, let's prepare for the burn using program 30, and then configure the IMUs to preferred orientation for the burn. This way, if we maintain pitch and yaw on 0, we'll be in the correct orientation. Alright, we are running program 30, yes. And this is 69 hours, 15 minutes, and 12 seconds. Roger that. We're going to hit proceed. Register 3 should have the planned delta V of the burn. See, this is actually inaccurate. Verb 6, noun 81. This is the delta V of our planned maneuver. In the X, Y, and Z at directions, vectors, whichever. And so basically we want these to be 0 and this one to be 3,300, right? Because otherwise, well, this burn is just going to be, well, about 3,000 feet per second retrograde, but also 1,200 feet per second radial in, I think. So that's going to pretty much drift us into a slightly elliptical orbit that would probably impact the lunar surface. Yeah, there's a slight plane change to that as well. So yeah, we're going to change these numbers. And the safest way I know to do so is doing it one at a time. So we're changing register 1 to 0. Then we'll change register 2 to 0. And then we will change register 3 to negative 3300.0. I believe there's a decimal point here. I'm very certain there's a decimal point there. All right, that should be our burn. So we're going to hit proceed. Roger that. And if I'm wrong about that, we'll find out in less than 2 hours when we crash into the moon, right? All right, hit proceed on noun. I believe that's supposed to say 42. Proceed. Roger that. And noun 45 is now counting down to the burn. Press proceed to exit program 30. Great. Then align the IMU with the burn direction. Roger that. Use the run feature of the program 52 aid preferred checklist. All right, roger that. So first of all, we will be, well, let's check the checklist actually. Program 52 is IMU realign. All right, so this is a helper checklist that will go ahead and go along with the Program 52 checklist, I think. But because it's sort of weird like this, we're going to hit run. But I'm going to be looking at this checklist here. So we have CMC on, ISS on, and orientation known. Panel 7 stuff, optics stuff. All right, so we are going to... First of all, it says to turn this off, which does make sense. Okay. So we're going to want to key in, of course, verb 37, noun 52. So we're doing program 52. Roger that. All right, so the first thing that shows up is verb 4, noun 6. Now we have option code, and the second register is the option. And what we want is preferred, 00001. So this is what it's going to be telling me here as well. So we're going to change register 2 to 00001, preferred. Because we have basically set up our own like attitude to set to for this burn, right? So enter and proceed. All right, if 00001 select, go to 5. All right, so we are going to 5. Verb 6, noun 22. Verify that it is flashing. It is in fact flashing. So this is setting an attitude control. Now it's saying to hit proceed with these numbers. So I think that we will. I'm not certain what I'm looking at here, if I had to be perfectly honest, on 622. Something to do with degrees or something. But, you know, the script wants us to hit proceed. So we will. And I believe, I wasn't paying attention too closely, but I think our FDAI here has adjusted to our burn. So that 0 hitch and 0 yaw should be where we want to point, I do believe. Hit the attitude and go to program 00 or another program. It's already idling, so we'll leave it at that. All right, IMUs aligned. All right, let's also get into orientation before the loss of signal. Run program 40 and prepare for ignition. All right, 40 is loaded up. And first we will, of course, set our CMC to auto. So our autopilot has control of our attitude. Roger that. And then hit proceed on noun 18 will do. All right, roger that. Then noun 18 asks for the orientation to auto maneuver to. Register 3 has been set to 180 degrees. Key verb 23 and set it to 0 degrees. This is because our IMU is aligned to retrograde burn. Copy that. All right. Register 23, all zeros, enter. All right. Then we'll hit proceed. Roger that. Hit proceed again on verb 50 and until noun 40 shows the countdown to the burn. I believe 25 plus 00204 is just saying, like asking our okay or something. So we'll hit proceed on that one. And now we are on a countdown. 77 minutes until our burn, until our closest point to the moon as well. Noun 40 is showing and counting down, roger that. Verify the orientation, which, well, it seems like the autopilot is going a little frisky with roll control. But other than that, we are slowly moving our rates towards the desired attitude down here. So we should be good. We can maintain it either manually or automatically. So we might do some manual attitude work later on. But for now, it's fine. It's wasting fuel, but it's fine. Roger that. Good luck with the burn. Feel free to use timescale to get closer to it, but allow enough time to get into orientation. Roger that. All right, the burn is planned. Platform set to preferred. Program 40 is waiting to execute the burn. Loss of signal will happen before ignition, and ignition will take place in the shadow of the moon. Roger, use timescale as needed, and prepare for loss of signal. And every time I see LOS, I want to say line of sight instead of loss of signal. in this specific instance, they pretty much mean the same thing. Also, they mean the opposite thing. Loss of signal and line of sight. It's loss of signal though. That's what that's standing for. Roger that. So we're gonna time skip ahead until we're closer to our burn. I'm gonna pay attention out this window because actually, now our attitude is moving us around. We get our first look at the moon. Look at that. This is the first time that we get to see the moon in the entire campaign, and that is a beauty right there. We are getting much closer to it. We're going to be as close as we'll ever be to it in a little over 70 minutes. I'm moving my head slowly to keep our line of sight on the moon, as our orientation is in fact slowly changing to retrograde. At least where it will be retrograde when we're at the moon. So, oh god, it's so beautiful. I could stare at it for hours, but let's time skip ahead because we have an orbital capture maneuver to perform after all. All right, we still have a few minutes left until we reach our burn, but I'm just sitting here with my face pressed against the glass like a young child, just looking at the beautiful sight of the moon as our autopilot slowly turns us away from it. No, bring us back. But something I am noticing is that we are coming in on the sunny side of the moon, rather than what the script is saying, where we'd be in shadow, would be in complete darkness. I think we're going to be able to see the moon very close right away. Something might be a little bit backwards with where the sun position is in the simulation. And I don't feel comfortable messing with things that I probably shouldn't be at the moment. But we can take a look here at our attitude, which is holding at 0 pitch and 0 yaw, which is absolutely brilliant. Our roll doesn't really matter all that much, so I might roll us around so we can see the surface a little better, but we should be able to see the surface pretty fine because we're going to get very close to it. Very close indeed. We still have 7 minutes left until our burn. Let's time scale just a little bit more. All right, just under 2 minutes left until our burn. And yep, I have to kind of stick my head outside of the capsule, which is not something I should be doing. But I just wanted to see where the position of the Earth was, and as you can see, it's right on the horizon there. We are about to have loss of signal. And now that we are about a minute and a half from a burn, I'm trying to remember all the steps that we need to do. I do remember the basics of having our engine up and running. We're probably gonna need, delta V thrust, those switches both on. And we're probably going to want our SPS gimbal motors active as well. And I think other than that, we're pretty much just always ready to go. I don't know if, I think it's automatic ullage. With an automatic burn, I think ullage happens automatically, so we should be good. All right, loss of signal, we are on our own now. Roger, loss of signal. 60 seconds until the burn. And I believe we are prepared. At 30 seconds, our disky should blank. At something like 10 or 5 seconds or something, we'll have to hit proceed to make sure that we get it's okay. Other than that, yep, disky blank. Other than that, I think we're pretty much just ready to go. Double checking our attitude, we seem to be holding 0-0, which is perfect. And roll is no longer freaking out. Program 99, proceed. 1 and ignition. Arm the SPS, set A to up, then B. At T-5, press a little bit late on that one. A little bit late, but we're good. The SPS is burning. I'm glad I knew to do that. That's the very basics. That's the very basics of burning. There's probably some other steps and things to check that I have just been completely overlooking. But our engine's burning. We're holding attitude. Like, I could have set the delta V up here just so we have a better countdown of it, but we are counting down our delta V here, so we should be a-okay. And theoretically, sooner or later, we'll be captured into orbit of the moon. Now, it does sort of look like we are aiming slightly down, which I don't like. Because if we were at our closest point, our paraloon, and we were burning along, you know, retrograde. I'm pretty dang sure that, you know, we should be horizontal to the moon, right? Right? Although maybe this sort of drift is intentional. I don't know. We don't have any signal because we've had loss of signal with the Earth. The Earth is behind the lunar surface. So I guess we won't know how bad this is until our computer tells us what our paraloon is. If our paraloon is like impacting the surface, then we've got a problem, and I'll have to manually whip us around and burn the engine a little bit more to get us into a better orbit. And honestly, question mark on how much I'd have to burn. But yeah, according to our FDAI, we're good. According to out the window, I am concerned. I'm concerned enough to set this to hold, set this to free, and pitch us up, please. Let's face actual retrograde. I do not know why we are 15, 20 degrees facing heads down. We're gonna switch this to hold. Make sure our yaw is good. Yeah, I'm facing about 18 degrees up. But just the orientation of our burn was not looking good. Was not looking good at all. All right, we're at, yeah, I'd say about that much. We're at about 20 degrees. Why were we facing 20 degrees radial in? That is something I don't know the answer to, and would really like the answer to. But, you know, manually controlling our attitude here doesn't seem to be very problematic for us. We're still sort of pitching down, it looks like. I'm gonna bring this up to about 25 degrees. Burn complete. Well, it says our burn complete. This is still counting down or up. Roger that. Take note of the burn time. Register 1. And press proceed to see current orbit. See, I wonder if something like this up here needed to be set, because the computer still doesn't think the burn is complete, right? Take note of the burn time, R1, and press proceed to see current orbit. Right, so register 1 is our apoloon, and register 2 is our paraloon. 5, 913, and 5. None of these values should be 0. If they are, manually correct the orbit or use the console command circularize. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, I'm not exactly sure what went wrong with this burn, but what we're gonna do is perform some manual flying here. And again, I don't know how much I need to burn in the prograde direction, which, you know, unlike the script says, which it would be dark, we do have, like I said before, we're on the sunny side. We're gonna avoid gimbal lock here. We're on the sunny side of the moon, so we can use the moon as a reference point and burn prograde to raise our paraloon, because yeah, we're in an orbit that's just gonna send us right into the surface, and we don't want that. We're not landing this thing. Although now I'm wondering if we have the fuel for it. You know, we just might. Although I don't know. I don't know if the game would allow that. Do you guys know? Do you guys know, perchance, if it's possible to land the Apollo command and service module on the surface of the moon? See, this is supposedly prograde here, right about here. However, we can clearly tell that we need to pitch down by a good amount. Now, I'm not sure if what I did wrong, possibly. This is a little bit too much. We want to go less than 30 degrees. We're going to go up to like maybe 25 or so. That should be good. Now we're facing prograde. At least we should be. Let's take a look. Can't see out that window, right? Pretty confident to say that we are. All right, I'm pulsing forwards. Oh, this is a live update too. All right, engine running. Huh. Now that wasn't really increasing our paraloon very much. Now was it? It makes me wonder if we're not actually at our apoloon right now. I don't think that we are. However, I also can't really tell if we're rising or falling. But given by how close the moon looks right now, I'm gonna estimate falling. I'm gonna estimate falling. Maybe not. Maybe not. This is raising our apoloon a lot. If you're curious what I'm doing right now, I am pulsing our RCS forwards to sort of ullage our fuel. Basically to see what happens. And I think what I want to do is try to aim basically straight up, radial out, if that's possible here. Somewhere around there. And let's light the engine. Oh gosh, yeah, I'm basically lighting this thing straight up in a just effort to not impact with the surface of the moon. This is definitely not how this was supposed to go. Now you might think I'm freaking out for no reason, but I feel like that moon's getting closer to me. Oh, our paraloon's going down still. Okay, kill the engine. Kill the engine. Maybe I'm freaking out for no reason. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the moon. Let's pitch straight down. And at least see our doom as it approaches, right? Now it looks like we could simply use a console command. M-circularize? But I think we actually have sort of a cheat. I think there's a map. If we go to moon map, our paraloon is 6 nautical miles. However, we are currently past our okay. We're past the lowest point. We're past the lowest point. According to the map, we survived a close encounter with the moon. Honestly, I don't know if burning straight up helped or hurt. It couldn't have hurt all that much. And at our apoloon, we should probably be able to, well, we've got perigee. We have perigee, we have apogee, but we also have them on the right here as well. I guess I can't tell. But if this is to be believed, then this should be our apogee. Our time to apogee is in 7,000 seconds. All right, I'm gonna time skip ahead. Oh yeah, we're in a little bit of an elliptic orbit of the moon for sure. Well, there's the moon beneath us, and I gotta say, I have absolutely no idea how to tell if we're facing prograde or not. All I've got is my best guess. My best guess is that we're going towards the sunny side. So what we're going to do is we're going to aim relatively towards the sun. And even though we no longer have loss of signal with the Earth, Mission Control has been real quiet about this. I think they were trying to off us and maybe have cut communications with us, but we're gonna stick around in orbit here anyway. Let's see what happens if I pulse forwards. Oh yeah, that's doing the trick. That's doing the trick. All right, engine on. Excellent, seems like things are in order. We're gonna aim down here slightly. Yeah, things are not in order, but you know, we made it work. We don't want this to get too high, but I also don't want it to be that low anymore. All right, 1,000, that's good enough. All right, that's good enough. All right, we've saved our orbit. I started freaking out a little bit when we were at our paraloon because I couldn't tell if we were getting any closer to the surface, if we'd already passed our paraloon or not. So I may have made some mistakes there. However, I thought I followed everything correctly, and we were not put into a safe orbit. So we are now in a safer orbit. It's still very, very elliptical, but flight seems to like it well enough to talk to us again. So roger that. Great job. Next task, my goodness, I hit off on these now, is to observe the lunar surface and check the area of the Sea of Tranquility. Aha, roger that. Feel free to continue exploring the lunar surface. This completes the mission. Well, some unexpected events occurred. However, if we push ourselves down here, if we push our nose down here, we will once again see the Earth. The moon. And I'm kind of curious what it'll look like. Ooh, I'm rolling way too much. If we timescale ahead here. Like, cause we should see that get very, very larger. So 25 times? 250 times. Yeah, we're just gonna timescale around the moon here. Oh wow, you can control attitude and timescale. Yo, this is the best way to fly around the moon. Now you can see we're gonna get closer to the moon at our paraloon, but it's not gonna be dangerous anymore, right? Here's our paraloon. Woo! Yeah, that's not dangerous anymore. Not dangerous at all. Oh wow, it's really fun seeing this in like a fast motion, as opposed to seeing it static and just noticing, hey, it's bigger now. Hey, it's bigger now. All right. Well, that is an example of, I guess, how not to do this campaign mission. I was also wasting a lot of fuel doing that maneuver because of timescale. But anyways, that's going to complete this mission, looks like, of the rough way of how to get to orbit of the moon. I did something wrong, freaked out a little bit, but you know, we brought it back. We're in an elliptical orbit of the moon, not circular, and we have definitely wasted a lot of fuel, but we're alive and we can come back home. And better yet, I think the next campaign mission will just fix our orbit and put us in a circular orbit for us, and we can pretend that we did this right. I'm gonna have to take a look at some things and make sure that I can actually do this right when, you know, we get to more dangerous things, or I guess more interesting things, like eventually doing an entire mission to land on the moon from the launch pad, we're gonna really want to nail getting into lunar orbit and not have this fiasco again, right? But that's gonna be all from me. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.